Hello, everybody. In the middle of the Warriors' blowout of the Atlanta Hawks, the Warriors ran this fun little play. This is a new version of the old Cyclone play. They've been running this play since the 2015 playoffs during the first championship run here against the Grit and Grind Grizzlies. The ball is entered to the wing, and then the passer tries to attract as much attention as possible. Hey, look at me, because the real spice is happening in the background. Klay Thompson sets a back screen on Draymond Green's defender, and then Draymond Green is just going to rip right to the basket. Klay's defender is so concerned with Klay that he doesn't even notice that Zach Randolph's man is cutting straight to the basket. Steph with the pass right on time. Aw, look at how young these guys all look. Once the league scouts it out, the Warriors stop running the play for a while, but then they bring it back every so often. Every version of the Cyclone ends up with the ball on the side with the passer, and in the background, the classic version of the Cyclone starts with a Klay cross screen before he steps up for the back screen. You can almost hear the shark music. Klay steps up to put a back screen on Kuminga's defender. Kuminga rips right to the basket. This play is called Cyclone, not just because it has all the players running around in a big cyclone spiral, but because Kerr got this play from the Iowa State Cyclones. The ball's going to end up set up on the side, one cross screen for the eventual back screener, and then the back screen springs free the big to come get a pass under the basket. Probably the most cold-blooded Cyclone play was on November 24th, 2017. There's a play stoppage, and you can see Steve Kerr calling in the play. Very nice looking Cyclone, getting some good torque on those arms. Okay, classic Cyclone. Sean Livingston is going to come set this cross screen for Steph, and then he'll pop out to receive the pass on the side. Steph suddenly veers and puts a back screen on a very young looking Lauri Markkanen for a young Kevon Looney. Rip cut right to the basket. Look at how trim he looks. Steve Kerr, he actually stood up and he's looking right past the scorer's table and having a really hearty laugh because across the scorer's table is Fred Hoiberg, who was the coach of the Iowa State Cyclones when Kerr stole the play. Pretty cold-blooded of Kerr to run Hoiberg's own play against him and then laugh in his face. So let's come back to today. Here's the setup. The ball swings to the passer on the side. Classic Cyclone would have Lindy Waters over here getting a cross screen from Steph, but either Lindy's in the wrong place or this is a slightly different version of Cyclone. In any case, they make it work. Steph evacuates to the corner. Lindy swoops over here to set this back screen on Capela, which will spring Trayce Jackson-Davis free to the basket. Trae Young definitely has no chance at out-jumping Trayce for this ball. Thump. A few people asked me about this beautiful half-court alley-oop that Steph throws. I don't have a lot to say about it, except if you want to see what Steph was looking at. Does this look like a free dunk to you? You do see Gary Payton II does not have his defender Bogdanovich between him and the basket, so he is open for the basket cut. And Bogdanovich has his back turned to Steph, so he won't be able to see the lob to break it up. Steph pointing up to the sky saying, "GP2, I'll make your dreams come true." And GP2 says, "I gotcha." Beautiful. Let's wrap up with one last play. Daniels tries to ISO Steph. Steph sees the spin move, gets his hand right where the ball is going and pokes it free. Very nice. This is just tired-looking transition defense from the Hawks. Wiggins runs right by Trae Young. This has faded to be a very nice dunk, so let's flow directly into a celebration audit of the bench. Gary Payton II immediately goes into the Christ the Three-Deemer celebration. And since GP2 got there first, it's important to study how will GP2's early celebration influence Trayce Jackson-Davis and Guy Santos. Well, you might say the scientific method would demand a control run where GP2 is not there, and I would say you're right. So I have obtained a control run. Earlier in the same game, GP2 is on the court, and we can see without the experimental condition of GP2 being in their face, Guy Santos goes for two arms straight up, the Rocky pose. Very nice. Trayce Jackson-Davis, two arms straight up, open palms. That's a raise the roof celebration. So that's the control run. So as expected, Santos raises his arms to go into the Rocky pose, but you can see the emotional turmoil within him. His arms want to go Rocky, but he's looking at GP2 and his brain wants to go flat Christ the Three-Deemer, and he ends up just kind of sideways, but still very festive. In the meantime, Trayce Jackson-Davis goes straight for his raise the roof celebration, but now he's torn because GP2's arms are very close to flat, so his arms start creeping down until I'm afraid to say that we can no longer call this a raise the roof celebration. This is more of a making yourself a big Y than the YMCA dance. And yet still, this is about 45 degrees, and GP2 is much closer to level here. Will GP2's charisma influence Trayce to lower his arms down to Three-Deemer territory? And yes, Trayce has fully synchronized his angle to be the same as GP2's angle. A good sign that the young gun is willing to follow veteran leadership. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you didn't enjoy this video, I promise I'll do better next time.